Chosen one, what you embody goes beyond stories, scriptures, and myths. It is a living demonstration of God's presence. People have felt His power, love, and authority through you before they could even understand it, because your life teaches in a way that words never could. Every choice, every act of faith, and every moment of obedience has created a ripple that shifts reality itself. This is a divine principle. Alignment with God's purpose activates change not just within you, but in everyone who witnesses your life. Understanding this is key. You are not here to follow ordinary paths or wait passively for miracles. You are here to be a conduit through which miracles flow. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This small action sends a powerful signal that amplifies the energy of this message. As you continue watching, you will gain insight into how your faith, courage, and presence can transform lives, and how living in alignment with your divine purpose makes God tangible in ways myths never could. Importance. The essence of this message is that some lives are not meant to be ordinary. Certain individuals are chosen to carry a presence so powerful that it touches hearts and transforms realities. Their lives are living proof that faith, courage, and obedience have the power to make the invisible visible. This isn't about religion or rituals. It's about the undeniable impact a person aligned with divine purpose can have, inspiring awe, igniting change, and leaving a lasting mark on everyone they encounter. My opinion, I strongly believe that this message reminds us that life is meant to be extraordinary when we align with our higher purpose. When faith is acted upon with courage, obedience, and authenticity, it becomes contagious, drawing others into experiences of hope, love, and transformation. Witnessing a life lived with such intensity and devotion motivates all of us to recognize our potential and the power we have to influence the world around us. Some lives are destined to break free from the ordinary. They are designed to radiate a force that others feel even before understanding why. Being chosen means carrying a responsibility and a gift, a unique ability to inspire, challenge, and transform. Ordinary lives follow routines, but extraordinary lives shake foundations and create ripples that are felt far beyond what the eye can see. When you embrace being more than ordinary, every action, every word, and even your presence becomes a signal of purpose. People begin to notice subtle shifts around you, the way energy changes in a room, the way hearts respond to your courage, the way doubt and fear dissipate in your presence. You become a living emblem of something higher, something beyond comprehension. Consider historical figures who changed the world. Their greatness wasn't born from titles or recognition. It was born from the realization that their lives carried more weight, more influence, and more meaning than ordinary existence could contain. That same opportunity exists for anyone who chooses to rise above mediocrity and align with their purpose. Living as more than ordinary is not always easy. Resistance, criticism, and skepticism may surround you. Yet these challenges are markers of your impact. They show that your life is stirring something profound in others. Your energy disrupts patterns, reshapes perceptions, and awakens dormant faith. Ultimately, being chosen to be extraordinary is about recognizing that you were designed to leave a mark the world cannot ignore. Each choice, each brave step, each act of faith is a testament to the potential that lies within a life fully committed to purpose and divine alignment. There is an incredible power in a life that makes the divine tangible before anyone fully understands it. People can sense the weight of something greater when it moves through you. It is a magnetic force that touches hearts and ignites awe. This experience transcends words, rituals, or teachings. It becomes something felt deeply, something experienced rather than explained. When individuals encounter this presence, they often describe a warmth, a calm, or an undeniable pull toward hope and belief. It is as if faith itself has taken shape, and the invisible hand of God is made real through the way you live, act, and engage with the world. This is the kind of presence that cannot be fabricated. It is earned through authenticity and alignment with purpose. Even simple acts, a comforting word, a courageous decision, or a selfless gesture become conduits for divine presence. People feel it before they name it, before they analyze it, before they understand it. Your life becomes a living testament that God's power is not just in stories or teachings, but in actions carried out with integrity, courage, and unwavering faith. Sometimes, the power of faith surpasses the boundaries of ritual, tradition, and conventional beliefs. A life fully aligned with purpose has the ability to challenge long-held assumptions and redefine what people consider sacred. You show that divine influence is not confined to ceremonies or doctrines, but flows freely through authenticity and action. When myths and traditions fail to move hearts, your presence can fill the gap. People begin to question what they thought they knew, and in that questioning, new understanding emerges. This is not rebellion, it is revelation. By living courageously, you illustrate that God's work is not limited to old interpretations, but is alive, dynamic, and transformative in the present moment. For example, countless visionaries, thinkers, and leaders in history disrupted established norms simply by being faithful to their inner calling. They demonstrated that true connection with the divine surpasses rigid frameworks and invites living, breathing interaction with purpose. You carry the same potential to break barriers and awaken fresh perspectives. Breaking myths requires courage because society often clings tightly to tradition. Yet the reward is immense. A life that opens eyes, challenges hearts, and inspires people to experience God in ways that words alone cannot communicate. Every act of alignment with purpose becomes a testament that faith is not static. It evolves and adapts to reveal its true power. Ultimately, breaking myths is not about rejecting the past, but about elevating faith beyond limitations. Your life becomes a bridge between what people have been told about God and what they can actually experience, creating a living, breathing connection that reshapes understanding and belief. There is a rare and undeniable force in someone whose life serves as proof of the divine. People do not need explanations, sermons, or arguments. They see God's power reflected in your actions, your decisions, and even in your demeanor. Your life becomes a living testament to a force that is bigger, stronger, and more transformative than the human mind can comprehend. Your presence alone has the ability to shift energy in a room. People feel it in their hearts before they understand it with their minds. This influence is subtle, yet profound. It is in the calm you radiate amidst chaos, the confidence you exude without arrogance, and the compassion you demonstrate without expectation. Others can sense that you are a channel for something far greater than yourself. Historical figures who embodied divine alignment experienced the same phenomenon. From great leaders to selfless humanitarians, Their lives demonstrated that the unseen can manifest in visible ways. You too have the power to make God tangible, allowing people to witness faith, hope, and love operating in the real world. Living as evidence of divine power requires courage, integrity, and discipline. It is not enough to speak or believe. Your life must align with your convictions. Every choice you make, from the smallest gesture of kindness to the boldest act of courage, becomes a reflection of a higher power at work. Ultimately, your presence is proof that the divine is not a distant concept. It is active, alive, and transformative. By embodying this reality, you inspire others to believe in the extraordinary, reminding them that faith is not theoretical, but practical, powerful, and palpable. Faith is more than belief. It is a force capable of transforming the unseen into tangible outcomes. When you live boldly in alignment with your purpose, faith becomes the bridge between dreams and reality, between hope and manifestation. It is the spark that converts intention into action, vision into impact, and belief into observable change. The invisible often appears intangible, yet those fully committed to faith demonstrate that it is anything but imaginary. Each act of trust, each choice to act without guarantees, creates ripples that influence circumstances, people, and even the course of life itself. Faith turns the abstract into the concrete, showing the world that what is unseen is not powerless, it is potent. Consider examples of people who have achieved incredible feats by trusting in unseen guidance. Their faith moved mountains, not through luck or coincidence, but through a consistent alignment with purpose, courage, and belief. Their lives became proof that the invisible can shape reality when acted upon intentionally. Living with this principle requires more than hope. It requires persistence. The invisible cannot always be seen, measured, or verified, but it can be felt, experienced, and validated through results. Every small act of courage fueled by faith is a building block in turning the unseen into the seen. Ultimately, faith is not passive. It is a dynamic force that, when embraced fully, activates possibilities beyond imagination. Resistance is a natural reaction to disruption. It signals that the ordinary is being challenged and that transformation is underway. Those who influence others deeply rarely walk a path of ease. Skepticism, disbelief, and criticism often accompany a life that pushes boundaries. But instead of discouraging you, these reactions are evidence that your energy is activating awareness, provoking thought, and awakening hearts that may have been dormant. Consider the leaders, visionaries, and change-makers throughout history. Their resistance was never a reflection of their inadequacy, but of the power they carried. They challenged societal norms, spiritual assumptions, and conventional thinking, and in doing so, their work left indelible marks on countless lives. Resistance also shapes resilience. Every challenge, every doubt expressed by others is an opportunity to strengthen your conviction, deepen your faith, and sharpen your courage. When met with grace, patience, and persistence, resistance becomes a mirror reflecting your impact and an invitation to continue with unwavering dedication. Ultimately, resistance confirms that your life is doing exactly what it was designed to do: touch souls, disrupt the ordinary, and awaken faith in ways that words alone cannot. It is a reminder that influence is measured not by comfort, but by the depth of transformation sparked in others. True authority is not commanded. It is earned through alignment with purpose and integrity. When your life is in harmony with God's design, your words, actions, and presence carry weight without effort. People naturally recognize authority when it is authentic, consistent, and rooted in higher principles. Alignment transforms influence into power that inspires trust and respect. Every decision made in accordance with purpose becomes a signal that your life is guided by something greater than personal ambition. This authority is subtle yet undeniable. It flows from the consistency of your faith, courage, and obedience. History shows us that those fully aligned with their calling often wield influence that reshapes societies, inspires movements, and leaves lasting legacies. Their authority is not based on coercion or fear, but on the undeniable magnetism of a life lived with purpose, conviction, and authenticity. Living with this authority requires self-awareness and intentionality. Misalignment erodes credibility and diminishes impact. But when actions, intentions, and beliefs are synchronized with divine purpose, your authority becomes a natural consequence of your integrity and dedication. Ultimately, the authority of a life fully aligned is not about control, it is about empowerment. It inspires others, opens doors, and creates environments where faith, courage, and possibility thrive, proving that true leadership begins with alignment rather than ambition. Obedience is often misunderstood as passivity or limitation, but in reality, it is a powerful tool that disrupts assumptions and exceeds expectations. Following a higher calling requires faith, discipline, and courage, and the results are often extraordinary, beyond what anyone, including yourself, could anticipate. When your life reflects obedience to purpose, ordinary frameworks no longer apply. What others see as boundaries or restrictions become springboards for creativity, courage, and transformation. Your choices demonstrate that true freedom is found in commitment to something greater than self-interest. Obedience transforms the mundane into the miraculous. Simple acts, decisions, and habits, when executed with faith and consistency, ripple into outcomes that inspire awe. People witness that a life dedicated to purpose can surpass the limitations of expectation, producing results that seem impossible but are very real. Consider examples from everyday heroes and visionaries. Their obedience in small daily acts, sacrifices, service, and disciplined practice culminated in extraordinary achievements. This is the essence of how obedience shapes destiny and leaves an indelible impression on the world. Ultimately, obedience that shatters expectations is a testimony of faith in motion. It shows that when we commit fully to a higher purpose, we are not only fulfilling our calling, but also inspiring others to believe that the extraordinary is achievable. Some of the most profound influence comes not through explanation, persuasion, or eloquence, but through the sheer force of presence. A life fully aligned with purpose leaves a trail of awe, admiration, and inspiration, simply by existing authentically and courageously. Your presence can calm storms, uplift hearts, and ignite hope. People sense authenticity, courage, and faith, and they respond to it naturally. Words become unnecessary because your life communicates volumes, proving that action speaks far louder than argument or explanation. People remember how they felt in your presence long before they remember what you said. This phenomenon is not limited to extraordinary moments. It can manifest in everyday interactions: a smile, a supportive word, a courageous act, or even the consistency of integrity over time. Your influence is in the way you make others feel valued, inspired, and connected to something greater. Ultimately, leaving the world awed without words demonstrates that power, impact, and transformation are not measured by volume or recognition, but by the depth of influence your life has on those who encounter it. Every decision, every action, and every step you take can spark a chain reaction far beyond your awareness. When aligned with purpose and guided by faith, even the smallest movement can awaken hope, ignite courage, and inspire transformation in others. Spiritual impact is rarely immediate or visible. Like ripples in water, the effects of a life lived with integrity, obedience, and courage expand outward, touching people, communities, and generations in ways that are often unseen but profoundly felt. Historical examples demonstrate that individual choices can alter the course of nations, inspire revolutions of thought, and awaken spiritual consciousness. The key is alignment. A life committed to purpose amplifies the power of each step and decision, transforming ordinary moments into catalysts of extraordinary change. Living intentionally magnifies this effect. Each action, no matter how small, carries weight when done with mindfulness, faith, and courage. By taking deliberate steps in alignment with purpose, you activate unseen forces that contribute to lasting transformation. Ultimately, every step ignites a spiritual reaction, because your life serves as a bridge between the ordinary and the extraordinary, the visible and the invisible, and the human and the divine. Each step becomes an opportunity to leave a permanent mark on the world. There is an extraordinary energy in a life that mirrors the divine in action. People notice when God is at work, even before they understand the source. Your life becomes a canvas on which the invisible becomes visible, and faith, courage, and love are illustrated through deeds rather than words. Being seen as God moves is not about ego or recognition. It's about becoming a living example of transformation, hope, and divine alignment. When you act in harmony with purpose, your energy resonates with those around you. People feel shifts in perspective, awakenings in heart, and a new sense of possibility. It's as if the world catches glimpses of a higher order through you. This perception of divine movement draws attention, inspires trust, and instills faith, even in skeptics. Throughout history, many remarkable figures were recognized not for what they said, but for the undeniable evidence of God's presence in their lives. Their actions, courage, and integrity revealed that the divine is active and powerful, proving that faith manifests through living examples, not just teachings. Being seen as God moves is also a profound responsibility. Your life becomes a reflection of what is possible when alignment, obedience, and purpose meet. Every decision, every act of kindness, and every courageous step carries weight because others are watching, feeling, and learning from the impact you create. Ultimately, this power is transformative. By living as a channel for divine movement, you inspire belief, ignite hope, and awaken faith in ways that cannot be taught, only experienced. Your presence proves that God is not distant, but active, alive, and moving in the world today. Courage is the spark that turns faith into action. Without bravery, potential remains dormant, and purpose is left unfulfilled. True courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting boldly despite it, trusting that your alignment with purpose will guide every step. When courage becomes the catalyst, extraordinary transformations are inevitable. Courage inspires others, When people witness someone standing firm in their convictions, taking risks to live authentically, or facing adversity with unwavering faith, they are stirred to believe in their own potential. The ripple effect of courageous action can awaken hope and ignite purpose in countless lives. Consider stories of individuals who took bold steps in alignment with their calling. Movements were started, injustices were challenged, and lives were saved simply because someone refused to shrink in fear. Their courage became a catalyst for change that transcended their immediate circumstances. Courage also deepens resilience. Each time you choose action over hesitation, you reinforce your ability to overcome challenges, navigate uncertainty, and sustain faith when outcomes are unclear. This resilience becomes contagious, inspiring those around you to embrace their own courage. Ultimately, courage as a catalyst transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities. Every interaction, choice, and gesture contributes to the way people experience your energy. Over time, the impact compounds, reshaping attitudes, inspiring belief, and altering the way individuals perceive challenges, possibilities, and the divine. Historical examples abound of individuals whose presence alone influenced movements, inspired communities, and transformed societies. They demonstrated that the most profound changes often begin with a life fully aligned with purpose, whose presence evokes reflection, courage, and hope. Ultimately, transforming perception through presence is about embodying the extraordinary. Your life can shift minds, hearts, and realities simply by being authentically, courageously, and faithfully present. Presence becomes a living conduit of influence, inspiration, and divine alignment. Belief is most powerful when it moves from thought to action. Faith and conviction gain life when demonstrated through deeds, choices, and courage. Your actions are tangible evidence that belief is not abstract but operational, something real that can change circumstances, inspire hope, and awaken potential in others. When people witness belief in motion, it becomes relatable, accessible, and contagious. Simple gestures, a consistent practice of kindness, bold decision-making, or unwavering integrity reveal faith in a way that words alone cannot. Action transforms theoretical concepts into lived reality, making belief both credible and compelling. History and modern examples show us that those who act on faith often achieve extraordinary results. Movements are initiated, lives are changed, and communities are transformed when belief is consistently translated into courageous, disciplined action. Action validates faith, proving that divine alignment has real-world consequences. Making belief tangible also strengthens personal growth. Each deliberate act of faith builds confidence, resilience, and clarity, reinforcing your capacity to fulfill purpose while inspiring those who witness it. Others are drawn not only to your success, but to the principles guiding your life. Ultimately, action bridges the gap between faith and reality. Your choices and deeds bring belief to life, allowing others to experience hope, love, and transformation firsthand. By living your convictions, you demonstrate that belief is not theoretical. It is powerful, visible, and transformative. There are lives that do not just influence, they astonish. When a person walks fully aligned with purpose, courage, and faith, their life leaves observers speechless, inspired, and transformed. Every decision, movement, and interaction creates ripples that extend far beyond immediate circumstances, shaping perspectives, beliefs, and realities. Walking this path requires boldness, discipline, and unwavering alignment. Ordinary choices become extraordinary when guided by purpose, and each act of integrity or courage becomes a living lesson in what is possible. People take notice not because of words, but because the energy, impact, and results of your life cannot be ignored. In history, some of the most transformative figures left the world in awe, not through fame or titles, but by embodying principles that reshaped societies and inspired generations. Their lives were living proof that faith, courage, and alignment have the power to astonish and awaken. Walking in such a way also inspires emulation. People are drawn to lives that radiate purpose, courage, and authenticity. Your actions provoke reflection, challenge complacency, and ignite hope, showing that the extraordinary is achievable when alignment with purpose becomes the compass of life. Ultimately, walking in a way that leaves minds blown is not about spectacle. It is about living fully, courageously, and faithfully. It is about creating a life whose impact is felt in hearts, witnessed in actions, and remembered long after moments pass, proving that true purpose leaves a legacy that astonishes and inspires. Why this is helpful? Understanding these principles helps you realize the extraordinary potential within a life fully aligned with purpose. They guide you to influence others, manifest faith through action, and leave lasting impact. By exploring these concepts, you gain insight into how presence, courage, and intentional action can awaken hearts, inspire belief, and transform environments around you. How to implementing these principles requires conscious practice, living intentionally, aligning choices with purpose, taking bold action despite fear, and reflecting on the spiritual and emotional impact of your life. Daily habits, self-awareness, and active faith allow these lessons to move from theory to tangible results, making your life a catalyst for transformation. Presence is more than showing up. It's about embodying a force that transforms spaces. When you walk with purpose, your energy communicates what words cannot. The intangible energy they radiate becomes unforgettable, leaving lasting impressions on those they encounter. Ultimately, presence as revelation reminds us that life is more than doing. It is being. When you embody authenticity, courage, and faith, you illuminate paths, awaken hearts, and reveal the extraordinary within the ordinary. Faith has the power to silence doubt, not by argument, but by action. When your life demonstrates unwavering belief, even skeptics are compelled to pause, reflect, and reconsider. Faith becomes undeniable when it manifests in tangible, courageous, and consistent actions that defy conventional understanding. People often question, challenge, or doubt what they cannot see. By walking faithfully, you allow results and integrity to speak louder than words, leaving skeptics astonished and inspired. Even in the face of opposition, consistency in belief demonstrates authenticity and divine alignment. Faith in action changes perspectives. A calm, confident, and principled response to challenges shows that trust in purpose produces results. Witnessing your courage and unwavering trust encourages others to explore belief without coercion or persuasion. Experience proves that such faith is contagious. Skeptics observing your life may begin to mirror your integrity, courage, and hope. Your example becomes a subtle yet powerful catalyst for awakening belief in others, opening doors to transformation without force. Ultimately, leaving skeptics speechless demonstrates the profound influence of lived faith. It shows that true power lies not in convincing others through words, but in inspiring them through consistent, courageous alignment with purpose. Faith is not only about understanding principles, it is about living them. When actions reflect commitment, compassion, and courage, they surpass theory and doctrine. People respond to results, integrity, and visible impact far more than abstract rules or teachings. Living through action creates authenticity. Others observe how you respond to challenges, serve selflessly, and remain faithful despite obstacles. These visible demonstrations of purpose communicate volumes about the power of belief far beyond any lesson or lecture. Action also proves resilience. Life is unpredictable, and consistent choices that align with purpose showcase endurance, patience, and unwavering trust. These qualities inspire admiration and respect, encouraging others to embrace similar principles. History shows that leaders, visionaries, and change-makers achieved more through deeds than words. By acting courageously, they left legacies that reshaped societies and hearts alike. Similarly, your consistent, purposeful action becomes the living embodiment of principles and values. Ultimately, action speaking louder than doctrine proves that life itself is the greatest teacher. It demonstrates that faith and purpose become tangible when executed through courageous, intentional, and authentic behavior. The most profound influence occurs when your life inspires belief before instruction. People often feel divine presence in authentic courage, compassion, and unwavering integrity. Through your example, others experience what faith, love, and alignment look like before you ever need to explain it. Your energy, decisions, and authenticity become catalysts for awakening. Others notice subtle patterns, consistency, selflessness, and hope in action. This inspires reflection, trust, and sometimes a deep spiritual realization without dialogue. Awakening God in others is often relational. Small interactions, offering encouragement, standing firm in adversity, or showing empathy, illustrate the principles of divine alignment. These moments often touch hearts more than sermons or teachings ever could. Experience demonstrates that when others witness authentic alignment, they are drawn to emulate, question, and eventually embrace belief. The living example speaks louder than doctrines and explains what words cannot capture. Ultimately, awakening God in others before words emphasizes that influence is relational, energetic, and action-driven. Your life becomes a channel of inspiration, planting seeds of faith that grow through example rather than explanation. Every choice you make carries spiritual weight. Even when unnoticed, decisions aligned with purpose, integrity, and faith create unseen impact that influences circumstances and people far beyond your immediate perception. Every step becomes a contribution to a greater movement of transformation. This power manifests in subtle ways, encouraging a struggling friend, making ethical choices in challenging situations, or showing patience in the face of adversity. These actions ripple outward, impacting people, communities, and opportunities in ways you may never witness. History confirms that even small, purposeful steps accumulate into massive, transformative change. Belief systems, traditions, and myths often inspire, but lived reality leaves a more profound impact. When your life reflects courage, integrity, and purpose, it validates faith in ways that stories and teachings alone cannot. You demonstrate that belief is not abstract. It is practical, transformative, and achievable. Outshining myths requires courage to live authentically. People may doubt, question, or resist, but your consistent alignment serves as undeniable proof of the extraordinary power of faith and purpose. Your actions rewrite narratives, showing what is possible when life is fully devoted to higher principles. Experience reveals that lived reality inspires more deeply than rhetoric. When people witness consistent results born from faith, courage, and intentional choices, they internalize lessons that cannot be conveyed through words alone. This embodiment of principles awakens belief and motivates action. Everyday decisions contribute to outshining myths, standing firm in adversity, showing compassion without expectation, and embracing courage in small acts are all ways that ordinary life becomes extraordinary, reshaping perceptions of possibility and inspiring hope. Ultimately, outshining myths with lived reality proves that true transformation is experiential. Others are moved not by theory, but by what they see and feel in your life, reinforcing that alignment, faith, and integrity are more powerful than legend or instruction. A life aligned with purpose does not simply exist. It leaves a legacy that inspires, uplifts, and transforms. When actions, decisions, and influence are guided by faith, integrity, and courage, the resulting impact often exceeds what anyone could imagine, leaving a trail of inspiration for generations. Legacy is built in moments, not only through grand achievements. Every act of kindness, courageous decision, and consistent alignment with purpose contributes to the cumulative influence that defines your enduring impact. People remember energy, inspiration, and authenticity long after accomplishments fade. Experience teaches that leaving a legacy requires intentionality. Purposeful living, selflessness, and courage create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate environment. The influence of a life fully aligned continues to inspire growth, hope, and courage long after you are gone. A defining legacy challenges expectations. Others may have underestimated the reach of your influence, but the consistent demonstration of faith, integrity, and purpose amplifies impact. What begins as personal alignment grows into generational inspiration and societal transformation. Ultimately, leaving a legacy that defies expectation is about intentional, courageous, and purposeful living. Your life becomes a benchmark for influence, a source of inspiration, and a testament that extraordinary alignment with purpose leaves a lasting, transformative mark on the world. Every life carries potential far beyond what the eye can see. When you align your actions, presence, and faith with purpose, you create ripples that inspire, transform, and awaken others. Your journey is proof that extraordinary impact begins with intentional choices and consistent courage. Faith, courage, and integrity are not just ideals. They are forces that move people, change perspectives, and shift realities. By living authentically and purposefully, you allow the impossible to become possible and the unseen to become visible. Remember, the power of your life is measured not only by achievements, but by influence, the hearts you touch, the minds you inspire, and the hope you ignite. Every small step of alignment builds toward a legacy that transcends expectation. I encourage you to embrace your calling, trust your journey, and step boldly into the extraordinary life waiting for you. Your presence matters, your actions resonate, and your courage can awaken hope in ways you may never fully realize. Live intentionally, align with purpose. Let your faith be visible in every choice. When you do, you become more than a witness. You become a force of transformation, a living example that inspires generations. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected for more insights, motivation, and lessons on living a life that truly transforms. Together, let's walk boldly into the extraordinary.